Hey everybody, how's it going? We're here with a timeless reading. Welcome. Okay, first card out is Nine of Wands. Three of Swords. I feel like there's something big that you're addressing here, but you could be feeling tired because it's complicated. Feels like the elephant in the room that's being addressed, but it's more than just a very clear sort of thing that's being addressed. It feels like it's, yeah, complicated is the best word to describe this. It's like, you know, sort of the bulk of what's being addressed, but it can feel like it's sort of twisted up in other things or impacting other things, or there are things maybe there that you didn't realize, or how certain things are connected that wasn't initially understood. But that's also the point in sort of taking this apart. And I'm seeing you be at a point where you could feel like so much of your energy is going into this that you don't really have energy elsewhere to be doing this. And you could also, wait, hold on. More clearly stated, you could feel like a lot of your energy is going into this, and so you may not have a lot of energy for other things. And also, too, even with the energy that you are putting into this, you could be feeling a bit depleted now at this point. Because this just, again, feels like a complicated situation here that you're taking apart. What to do now and where to go. It feels like once this is being figured out, it's going to clarify what's going to be happening, where you're going to be going, but this sort of has to be addressed first, and then you're going to be able to decide where you're going from there, what you want to do from there, what path you want to take from there. So maybe your first time dealing with a situation like this, where you could be like, I feel like in some ways you could feel disadvantaged from the lack of experience you have, just because of how it feels like a complicated thing that's being addressed. You may not have done something like this before. You may not have a whole lot of experience before, but you're also like, I'm just gonna have to figure it out, because I'm seeing you willing to be there. But also, too, it can be a challenge to allow yourself to enter into this process, knowing what you know, knowing what you don't know, those types of things. Because you could feel sort of like there's a long way to go, because this is something complex that's being addressed here. Ooh. So, actually, let's get two more cards out. I'm seeing the Fool, I'm seeing Seven of Swords, and I'm also seeing Ace of Cups here. Having Seven of Swords here, there can be an awareness that you have of things that are going on, but there can also be a part of you that maybe doesn't want to see the whole picture in certain ways. But you can also feel at times like you're hiding this from yourself. Okay. You're in an unknown situation here. So we're starting off with Nine of Wands. This is going to be a challenge. This is something that feels like a process. This is something that can feel like it's taking a lot of willpower and a lot of energy, that it's not the most straightforward thing, or that it just takes like there are levels to it of working this thing out, of doing this thing. and you could feel like you've already put a lot of energy into it. It's also going to require some more energy, and you could be at a point where you're just trying to sort of like keep going with this. I'm seeing we have 7 of Cups at the end of this spread. So this can mean that like you're on track, but you could be not exactly feeling clear about that. You could also feel thrown off because of how much energy something is taking, how exhausting it is, or like how much of a process it is, like that type of thing. And there can be a part of you that is sort of wondering, maybe you feel like you haven't made the type of headway that you want to make yet. This has to do with something that you're doing currently. Like you're on this track right now. So you're in this lane doing something and you're like, what's going on now? I'm trying to understand the way that I feel about this, the way that I understand this, like what I'm sensing. I'm trying to get a bigger picture here, but you can feel like the situation is kind of cloudy right now as you're working through it. I am seeing 3 of Swords and I am seeing 7 of Swords. This can be something that you're working through, something that you're working through that's associated with there being like pain of some sort. This can be like a betrayal that you experienced. This can be something that ended badly, sort of something that came to a head as well. Having 3 of Swords is going to be, I feel pain that happened because of this, and now I'm trying to like take it apart in order to better understand it. So it's like when you get in an accident and you have some type of bruising from it, where like the body has faced some type of physical trauma, but this is going on in a mental way. And it's something that's also impacting you emotionally too. But I'm seeing this be like more a mental thing than anything. And so you're dealing with like the wounds from this situation, but it means like needing to break it down and see what's actually going on and what's hurt, and then what do I need to do about that. And then having the 7 of Swords here, there can be a feeling of like, I don't completely understand this. I don't know like what caused this exactly, or like I'm having a hard time like fully undressing this. Because 7 of Swords is connected with like an energy that you can feel is like not fully aware yet, or not fully conscious yet of certain things. Hold on one second. I'm gonna make it a bit more quiet here. So what I'm seeing is that you're trying to figure out a process. This can be something that feels relatively new to you. You can be trying to break something down and understand it, but it can also feel like you're not in a space where you're like fully and totally able to understand everything. 7 of Swords can also be that like not everything has been revealed yet, or not everything has been recognized yet, and you could also be feeling tired because you're like, I'm trying to understand this and I feel like there's not like full transparency about this. So it's like you can be trying to tend to certain things but not completely understand them yet at this point. So 7 of Swords can be something going on where it's like there are still things that are hidden. There are still things that haven't been revealed yet, or things that haven't been told about. Like, I'm seeing that this injury is here, but I'm not fully aware of like what created that, of what caused that. I feel like I haven't gotten a full description yet of that, of what had happened before. And so you could be in a space where it's like the Ace of Cups is here, so there can be an opportunity to connect with something or someone, but you could feel like, I don't really know what happened back there, and so what's going to stop that from happening again? Or I feel like I haven't fully gotten over that yet because I haven't fully unpacked that yet. It's feeling mostly like that, like something hasn't been fully unpacked, but it's because of this part of you that may still be hiding certain things from yourself because it's hard to like accept all of it. So there can be certain things that in an unconscious way you're definitely aware of, but in a conscious way you're basically, it's like your ego knows a lot of things, okay? And what has happened. However, because of there being immense pain that has still not been fully unpacked, your ego is still keeping certain things from you, because you being in a place of a Three of Swords can be very extreme, where you're like, I don't think that I can be hurt more than this. Like, I don't think that I can take more. And so your ego is holding certain things back, because if it piles more on top of what's already not been being dealt with, it can just feel like too much, you know? And you could feel in a way like that would be the end of you, psychologically speaking. And so I'm seeing that there are still certain things that have not fully been like released to you consciously, that's associated with whatever this is. Again, feeling like the elephant in the room. But I'm actually seeing the Seven of Swords as being your ego like not telling you certain things yet, because you need to deal just with the Three of Swords first, and then the other stuff is going to come. So you're going to have a feeling like, I don't feel like everything is out on the table yet, but I'm actually seeing this as being a protective energy right now, because something else still hasn't fully been dealt with here. And you can even feel tired with what you already have to deal with in the first place, and now you're trying to make a decision of what to do next. But I'm seeing something that very, very strongly needs to be addressed here, and it is the Three of Swords. So it's something that you would still feel like an open wound, sort of. Like something that you would refer to as like trauma, or as being damaged, or something that feels unhealed, something that's still getting to you. I'm seeing this has not been unpacked yet, but it needs to be unpacked. But it can feel, you can look at that and be like, it's just too much. I don't even want to go in that direction. But also you can feel like things keep like leading you back here, like address this, address this, address this. And I get the vibe too that like you're gonna have to address this before you can make a like concisive choice about whatever this is that's sort of up ahead. Because you may have something now sort of becoming available to you, but you have to address this first in order to then go into this thing that's in front of you, is what I'm seeing. But there can also be some confusion here, like having Nine of Wands and then having Seven of Cups can be like, I'm not really sure what's going on here, what I'm supposed to do here. I'm still trying to make sense of like what this chapter is about for me. But I'm seeing like the main bulk of this is about addressing this wound or this trauma or this pain, whatever this is that you feel like is still sort of balled up within you that needs to be addressed. It's like that thing that's still sticking out to you. That thing that it's like, oh, when I touch that part, I'm still feeling a lot of pain because of that, you know, like that sensitive spot. That this is what needs to be addressed here. Because I'm seeing that there's so much, there's still more to it, more to it than you're even aware of, but that your ego is holding things back from you because this needs to be addressed first before it lets out that stuff as well. So it can have you be feeling like weary. So let's say that you go through something with someone, right? And there's unresolved stuff that happens, and there's still pain that you're experiencing. There can be paranoia, there can be mistrust, there can be just bringing this up all the time because it's still there for me, knowing that it's a sensitive spot, avoiding it because of that, or like becoming enraged, like emotionally or energetically, or heightened in some way, or activated in some way when there's movement around this area for you, energetically, emotionally speaking. So let's say something like that happens, it's not fully unpacked, and so you're still sort of carrying that wound with you unaddressed, and so it's still sort of like bleeding out. And now I'm seeing an Ace of Cups, which is something coming in saying like this can be healing, this can be something that you can connect with. And I'm seeing the Fool, it's like this part of you that wants to like be hopeful about this, but it's being blocked by the Seven of Swords. So it's being blocked by a part of you that's like, we haven't even fully addressed this thing over here. What are you talking about? You're going to move over towards this Ace of Cups when, one, I'm seeing you're not like even fully present to this connection that's coming in because of needing to still unpack what was going on. But there's a part of you that may want to bypass and go right into another connection. But then there's this feeling of like, oh, is this person gonna betray me then? Or like, I feel like something's off now, when it's like there's nothing wrong with the Ace of Cups. This is about the old stuff that had happened that still hasn't been unpacked, but now it's affecting the new thing that's coming in. And that's why you're not totally like present to this thing, this new connection or this renewed connection. It's why you're not fully present to it, because your emotions and your like emotional and energetic presence is not focused on this thing that's in front of you. It's focused on this thing that's behind you but still with you. So trying to make a choice now about like, now I feel conflicted. Now I feel it less than feeling conflicted and more of being like, I'm having a hard time like really knowing what's going on for me and being present to myself emotionally going through this, because my emotions are sort of all over the place. I want to do it, I don't want to do it, I feel freaked out, now I'm feeling paranoid, I don't feel trusting of this person, then I want to be with them. It's like all of this stuff going all around. So sort of this like overwhelming or like overflowing or like ups and downs emotionally about this opportunity that's right in front of you, that there's a part of you that is into this, but there's another part of you that's like, you're not going to be able to fully participate in this until you address what this is for you, this thing that you're still carrying with you, this unaddressed wound. And that's why emotionally you can't be fully present to this thing in front of you, because all of that attention, I'm seeing this be like your bandwidth emotionally keeps trying to bring you back into this, and you may be like, oh, that's in the past, but it's like it hasn't been addressed yet. That's why you keep going back into it, because it needs to be addressed. And that is what you're being set up to be addressing right now before you're doing anything else. It needs to be addressed. Otherwise, it's all going to keep bleeding into this perfectly wonderful thing in front of you, but it's not going to allow you to really be present to that, to see that for what it is, because of it's not even because of what's happened, it's because of the way that it has impacted you, the way that what's happened has impacted you, like your narrative of that. Your takeaway from that. So that's why you can have something coming in where you're like there's nothing wrong with this thing that's coming in. I don't think, like, I feel intuitively like this would be a good thing for me to connect with, and I feel like it's resonating with me. But why am I feeling this hesitance, or why do I keep being brought back to this past thing? And it's because of needing to deal with it. That's why. These are all signs to just come back and deal with this thing to allow you to move forward, because I'm seeing you're still, again, like carrying this with you, this thing from the past. And it's something that's not allowing you to fully be present to what is now available to you to connect with. So I'm seeing it be suggested that you do whatever it is that you need to do in order to address this, and that it's going to help you with these like mixed feelings that you're experiencing about the track that you're on and the track that you might step onto in front of you. It's going to allow you to actually give something a chance that now at this point you're not able to, because of something else that you need to deal with first. All right, my friends, we are going to leave the reading here. I would like to thank everyone for connecting. Thank you for tuning in. I'm sending everybody love, and I hope to catch you guys next time.